Wolves 1-2 West Ham. Hammers come from behind to grab 3 vital points. VAR finally gives something back to our guys in Claret Blue. As over the top as it sounds when discussing football, I do feel there are experiences that transcend normalcy. Unfortunately for me, losses are generally what stick with me the longest. I have spoken before about how, after my son was born in 2007, that I would often lie awake in his room holding him. He would be crying from the pain of reflux, and I would be thinking about that 4-3 loss to Spurs at home. My infant son is in agony and I am thinking about blowing the lead late. Seeing the replay of Defoe running in on Green in my head last Saturday reminded me of that. Thank goodness work made even listening to the Spurs game impossible because I couldn't stomach it. It's West Ham, Dave. It happens is what Nigel Conn said to me. I saw the banter between him, Dodsey, Sean, Ian and the Bucci's on our WhatsApp group and was astonished they could even speak. Despite promising myself I wouldn't be like that again, I now accept at 59 years old I am what I am and that's all that I am. Yeah, I quoted Popeye in case it looked familiar. Even before the Tyneside catastrophe I saw today as a probable loss. Dropping Antonio to the bench was likely in order to keep him fresh for Thursday. While I understood why some might have thought that wise, I would have reversed it and used him today to hopefully grab a lead that we could actually hold on to. Thursday made more sense to me to have him as a late sub for a final push. Maybe both things could be true. I had to put down my coffee in the 3rd minute when Nori cut in from the right to let a left-footed shot go, and it didn't miss by a whole lot. Fabianski had it covered as it went over the bar. Wolves kept up the pressure, which in all likelihood was what Moyes wanted with his counter-attacking setup. But with only one clean sheet on the road in the last year, it does come with inherent risks. West Ham should have taken the lead in the 12th minute when Semedo played what the TV commentators called suicidal defending right on the end line. Bowen picked the ball off of him and put a pass into the path of Soucek 5 yards from goal. But the Czech midfielder could not untangle his feet and he was unable to even get a shot off. For a player who is capable of coming up with crucial goals, Soucek often makes a mess of the easiest of chances. He is an enigma wrapped in a riddle, as Don King used to say before robbing an unsuspecting boxer blind. Semedo showed that he is also capable of creating a chance in the 21st minute when he ran down a long ball on the right. And at first it looked like he had absolutely no chance of getting it. Yet he did, rolling a pass into the West Ham 18-yard box for Sarabia, but his shot was partially blocked and Fabianski was able to smother it. Moments later Wolves won a corner when Zuma was able to make a late block on a shot by Nori. West Ham cleared the initial delivery, but Wolves recycled and got the ball on the left to Doyle, who tried a tight angle shot that Fabianski was again able to stop. Doyle had another chance minutes later when Doherty was able to get on the end of a long pass into the box and head it to Doyle, but his volley attempt went wide. It was Wolves' best spell to that point. West Ham's day got harder in the 30th minute when Doyle sent Nori in on goal with a good pass, and Emerson took him down in the box. For a side that is built on the concept of being tight defensively, West Ham have conceded more penalties than any other team in the league. Fabianski guessed the right way, but Sarabia's drive went off the post and into the back of the net. The 40th minute provided a summary of West Ham's day thus far when Paqueta went on a run down the right after some sloppy play by Gomez. But with only Kudus in support, he was easily muscled off the ball. We looked exhausted and almost disheartened. Moyes made no substitutions against Spurs in midweek, and now many of those same players were called upon to do the work. Not an easy task. In added time, Nori went through West Ham defenders like the proverbial knife through butter before Emerson fouled him. On a yellow card already, with nobody in yellow anywhere near. It was a very dangerous thing to do. Sarabia's free kick flew right into the arms of Fabianski. Moyes made 2 changes to start the second half with Antonio and Johnson coming on with the 2 Czechs coming off. Within seconds Antonio delivered West Ham's first shot on target of the day. A minute later Kudus tried to find Antonio in the middle with a low cross, but his pass was intercepted. It was better, but the bar was so low for quality it wasn't noteworthy. West Ham had what might end up being a season and European campaign-altering injury in the 47th minute when Bowen went down after a coming together with Gomez. And he immediately clutched his lower back. Bowen doesn't stay down often, so he must have been in a lot of pain. He came back on but looked very uncomfortable and came off a minute later for Cresswell. Down by 1, our top scorer comes off, and we replace him with a left back. At the time it looked utterly absurd. The Hammers won a free kick right at the top of the Wolves box in the 58th minute when Cunha committed a foul. Up stepped Ward-Prowse, and the now tedious reminders of him needing one free kick goal blah blah blah. His delivery came off Doherty and flew past the near post. The truth is it was as close to scoring as we had come all day. West Ham thought they had an equalizer in the 62nd minute when Emerson headed in a cross from Kudus, but the referee waved it off for a foul by Emerson on Semedo. It was soft to say the least. But VAR confirmed it, and our relationship with the television-based referee continued to be quite poor. For the time being. West Ham were given a lifeline into the game in the 71st minute when Totti was called for a handball when he got in front of a cross attempt by Emerson. Paqueta did one of those stuttering runs that scare the crap out of me, but he dispatched it past Saw. West Ham may not have deserved to be level, but nobody in Claret and Blue would dare complain. West Ham had a golden chance to take an unlikely lead in the 80th minute when an Antonio cross took a deflection and flew into the path of Johnson. The soon-to-be former Hammer volleyed it on the fly. But it was right into the arms of Saw. A minute later they had another chance when Paqueta found Kudus all alone in front of Saw, but he hesitated, which allowed Doherty to get back and cover. It was right there to be had. West Ham won another corner in the 85th minute when a Cresswell cross attempt was deflected out. Ward-Prowse stepped up to take it, and with a few big bodies in the box there was hope for a header or deflected shot. As it turned out, Ward-Prowse didn't need anyone as his in-swinging delivery evaded everyone and landed in the back of the net. Improbably, bizarrely, West Ham were in the lead. Wolves 1. West Ham 2. The various VAR reviews, substitutions and injuries meant that West Ham would have to endure 10 minutes of added time. Cresswell, Paqueta and Kudus tried to take advantage of Wolves now being the side in chase mode with a counter-attack. But the lead pass for Kudus from Paqueta was too hard and Saw was able to get to it first. In the 93rd minute Zuma made a fine defensive play when he was able to block the ball from Cunha inside the box and allow it to roll out for a goal kick. A minute later Kudus tried to put the game to rest with a shot from inside the box, but he was off balance and the shot went over the bar. He then tried from the opposite side but ran out of room to operate and Wolves got the goal kick. In the 99th minute, Wolves won a corner and the delivery landed right on the head of Kilman and flew past Fabianski. But Chirwa was standing right in front of Fabianski, and VAR told the referee to go have a look. Fabianski would never have gotten to the header, and if I were a Wolves supporter I'd feel just like we did at Sheffield United and home to Burnley. And last Saturday at Newcastle. Oh, and in Freiburg. I'll stop now. Final score. Wolves 1. West Ham 2. I will grant that our second half was a huge improvement on the opening 45 minutes. Maybe my overall depressive nature from all sorts of times through the years is clouding my ability to be ecstatic anymore. I wish my warped, sick mind could stop thinking Arif, we should be on 51 points. But, you know, Popeye. Anyway, these 3 points were absolutely vital in the chase for a top 8 finish. Which in many if not most years going forward will be a ticket to Europe. And while I was shocked at the substitutions, both Cresswell and Johnson played admirably. They came on. We scored 2 goals, we won. I cannot blame Moyes for losses when he makes what I think are strange choices and not make room for praise when the outcomes are good. I get my coffee mugs back for the week. 2. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.